Hey everyone, what's up? So here's my DIY RGB desk lamp or RGBLamp.io, which is powered by an ESP8266 module and costs less than $15. It have an internal lithium battery and can be controlled via web app. My goal was to build a cheap Philips Hue lamp alternative which have basic features like the RGB LED toggle and brightness control feature in less than $15. So I made this. This video is gonna be about the building process of this RGB lamp, how I made its PCB, the SMT process of this board, and the coding part which utilize a simple web server for the RGB control. This project is not very complicated if you are familiar with the ESP8266 microcontroller. It's basically a minimal ESP8266 breakout board which is connected with the 18 WS2812B LEDs, and that is pretty much this project. So the first thing that I did was I prepared a basic schematic in which I placed 18 WS2812B LEDs and connected them with a minimal ESP12F or 12E setup, which is this. I also added an AMS1117 circuit for stepping down the 5 volt from the USB or 3.7 from the battery side, as the ESP12F is 3.3 volt tolerant and 5 volt will instantly burn the board. I didn't made any breadboard prototype for this setup, as I previously have made similar projects. For example, these RGB glasses that you can check out from here. They also have same setup and everything is same except the number of LEDs and the mechanical fitting and the shape. In the PCB editor, I put WS2812B LEDs in a ring sequence and added the ESP at the middle and the AMS1117 at one side. After finishing the PCB and checking the whole board thoroughly, I exported the Gerber data and opened that in the FDM software by the next PCB. In this software, I uploaded each Gerber layer and verify them one by one to spot any mistakes. After checking the board thoroughly, I click on the render option to check out the rendered version of this PCB in green solder mask. After doing all the checking and rendering stuff, I place order straight from this software and ordered 5 PCBs. You can download this software from the link which is provided in the video description. I received PCBs after a few weeks and the PCBs were great as expected. Next PCB, well done you guys. Also, you can check them out if you need PCB service for low cost. After checking the PCBs, I started the assembly process. The assembly process of this board is mostly SMD component that required solder paste instead of normal soldering wire and a hot plate or a reflow gun. Hot reflow gun can destroy SMD LEDs as the LED outer surface is made from plastic and supplying heat from the top might melt the outer surface, so it's wise not to use hot gun for this job. I previously have made an SMT soldering hot plate from an iron's element. It works just like a commercial hot plate, but a normal hot plate can also be used here. Or you can get creative and use a frying pan with sand for reflow. Hot plate heat the PCB from the base side, which melts the solder paste, so the upper surface of the LED is not directly in contact with the heat. So this method is best for the LED soldering. I first added solder paste to WS2812B LED pads, and this process took time and effort as I didn't order stencil this time, and adding solder paste one by one to each pad is such a pain in the ass. After adding the solder paste to each pad, I placed WS2812B LEDs on its assigned pad one by one in the right order. Placing them in the right order in the reference to silkscreen is crucial, as they won't work when you connect them in the wrong orientation. So be extra careful with this step. After adding LEDs, I added 100 NF capacitor to its assigned pad one by one. These capacitors can be placed in any orientation, so we don't need to worry about the polarity. After this, we just need to put the PCB on hot plate and let it heat for a few minutes. Just let the solder paste melt and remove the PCB in few seconds when the solder paste melts completely. The result will be a PCB with 18 WS2812B LED soldered on board. Now, in order to test whether the LEDs are soldered properly or not, I added 3 wires to the LED's VCC, ground and data pin and connected this LED ring PCB with a Pro Micro board and run a simple NeoPixel test sketch. After confirming that our PCB has been reflow properly, I added solder paste to every component pad and placed them all on their right assigned place one by one according to the given schematic. I added the PCB to the hot plate and let the solder paste melt. The result was a complete RGB lamp board with the ESP8266 setup, which is now almost ready to be flash. But before that, I added 2 connectors for the battery and rocker switch along with a tic-tac switch, which is for resetting the ESP8266. And for that, I just use a good old soldering iron. The next step is to flash the ESP8266 and check whether this circuit is working or not. For programming ESP8266 module, we can use an FTDI module, but there also exists a better and easy method that required only a Node MCU board. I previously have made a PCB, which is this ESP8266 programmer board that contained a Node MCU and a few header pins. Basically, we just need to connect any minimal ESP8266 setup with this Node MCU PCB in this configuration. We pull down the enable pin of Node MCU to ground, which turn off the ESP8266 present on the Node MCU. We can now just hook an external ESP8266 setup and use the Node MCU's CP2102 chip to flash the external setup. I already have made a video about this topic, so you can check them out from here. In the RGB lamp PCB, I connected the programmer pin to a CON6 header pin. For programming, we can just directly put the Node MCU programmer PCB on the RGB lamp connector 6 header pin. It's a clever method to use, as because of this external programmer we don't need to add FTDI chip on ESP82 setup, and we can make smaller PCBs, and for programming then we can just break out 6 important pins and connect our external programmer with it. Here's the code for this project. You can download this code with other details about this project from this project's page. Link is in video description. Also hit that subscribe button. For uploading the code, first plug the Node MCU programmer with the RGB lamps PCB. Change the Wi-Fi credentials in the code. Select the Node MCU as the main board in the tool option with the right port and upload the code. After uploading the sketch, open the serial monitor at the given baud rate and hit the reset button. You will see the IP address of your ESP82 setup. Copy the IP address and open that in your browser, and you will see the rgblamp.io web server. This project web server is not aesthetically appealing, but it will let you toggle any color by clicking on the color palette and adjust brightness. A better web server can be made for this setup, but for now this will work fine. Now let's move on to the next part, which is the final assembly. For the main body of this lamp, I use a metal 50 watt bulb body. It comes with a diffuser and can be bought from online sources. As for the base for this metal body, I designed and then 3D printed a base on which I have mounted a lithium ion battery pack and an on-off rocker switch, and that is pretty much the base and the body of our lamp. The next step is to edit the metal body according to the PCB. For starters, our PCB will be screwed on the top part of this metal lamp body. I made mounting holes in the PCB design, but this body doesn't have a cavity or a cutout for the USB charging port. So I marked the cutout length according to the USB size and use a hacksaw to cut that part out. I also made a similar cutout in the diffuser body. After this, I drilled hole in the metal body for switches and battery wire with a drill machine. And that is pretty much the editing part. We start the main and final assembly by first adding the electrical tape to the metal body top part, as our PCB might get short when placed on the top of the exposed metal surface, and that won't be a good thing. So I covered the exposed metal part with electrical tape. After this, I place washers or spacers on the mounting holes to lift the PCB a little bit from the metal surface, and use screws to mount the PCB on the base permanently. Now we just need to add battery and the switch connector on this PCB. Connect the male and the female header connector on PCB and solder its wire on the battery, and then redo this process for the switch connector. In the end, just close the lower part of body by pushing the base on its locking position and add diffuser on this lamp in the right order. And our setup is completed. Code is already loaded on this RGB lamp, so we just need to turn on the device by toggling the rocker switch present on the lower base and open this lamp web server. Select any color from the chart and bang. And that is pretty much it for today, guys. Leave a like or hit that subscribe button if this video was helpful. Also, huge thanks to Next PCB for supporting this project. Check them out if you need great PCB service for low cost. And I'll be back with the next project.